just screened the first film of the day, Ali the Blind Boxer, a beautifully made film. And today we have the directors of the film with us, Mr. Bijoy Banerjee and Mr. Kaushik Mondal. I welcome both of you in this
Hi.
discussion.
Thank you. Good
Thank
morning.
you. Thank you. Good morning.
First of all, thank you so much, Bijoy and Kaushik, for sending this wonderful film to our festival. We really liked it. There were several kids in our studio today to watch this festival, and they really enjoyed the film. Quite a emotional film, and makes it directly goes into your heart very deeply.
Thank you.
So first of all, I would like to start from both of you. How this idea of creating this entire story, a protagonist who is a blind boxer, which is very unique storyline. How this idea actually came to you?
Well, actually, it's more than a film, it's a mission. A mission that both me and Kaushik, we deeply believe in. Our simple belief is that we all are born equal, right? Society labels us in multiple manners based on our, birth, our physical shape, size, skin color, region, and so on and so forth. So we get labeled. Now, this is something that really pains both of us. That why there should be a difference amongst us. And most important is for people who have differently abled mannerisms or life, they are looked down in our society. There's a deep-rooted prejudice and a common belief that people who are differently able, they are less capable. We both completely abhor that actually. So we wanted to make or tell stories towards that direction where we are in a position to use the audiovisual medium, cinema, as a medium. Through entertainment, we are able to raise issues of social discrimination and create awareness that do not look down on differently abled. They are as equal as us. So to exemplify that, we decided why not think of a story which is outrightly impossible. And that is where the boxing context came in the picture, because boxing happens to be perhaps the only sport so far where this social discrimination against visually challenged is blatant. You can, even in Paralympics, you have various contact games, authorized games, recognized games like judo, taekwondo, karate. You can be on wheelchair and still do boxing in Paralympics, but you got to have eyesight. That's the International Boxing Federation's rules. Now, we were absolutely surprised that why this is so, because there's so many sports where visually challenged people, they're excelling actually. I mean, we have the World Cup winning team of blind cricket. So we wanted to understand whether it is really a technical impossibility or is it a mindset issue. So that drove us to exploring and defining a fiction story where there is a boy who is blind since birth, but has two most important aspects of being a boxer, which is one is the junoon, the passion, doesn't get bothered, doesn't fear. And the second point is has a powerful punch. Now, these two are the fundamentals of a boxer. Now, this boy happens to have these two, but he doesn't have eyesight. Can he become a boxer? Will society accept this leap of faith? So we call this as a leap of faith, story and idea. And then that's the way this whole thing started, and then we moved on. And Kaushik, you want to add more?
Yeah, Kaushik, we would love to hear from you also.
I think rightly so, Bijoy has beautifully summarized the premise of our making this film and what kind of a journey we have made. We can go on the entire day telling you how we have made this movie and why we made this movie and all the little bit details which have actually the journey we have gone through. So I would like to say one very simple thing. See, today's day, we know that we all are actually trying to champion the basic core concept of inclusiveness, right? and something that we called differently abled, disabled was an earlier word which was removed, and we today call differently abled, blind people, otherwise paraplegic, so many other. So there are different kinds of these people that Bijoy was referring to, whom we are trying to say that they're part of our mainstream. They're not on the fringes. But the problem is that somewhere at the core of our belief system, we are never able to treat them as equals. So that is where we want to challenge. We want to say anything that you are saying is an extreme sport for anybody in this world. Any a person whom you are saying is not having the physical requirements to able to do that, we want to challenge through our story that is it possible. And very interestingly, when having come up with this concept, with this story, once we started making this film, we were initially thinking of casting anybody like a good actor for the protagonist role. Then we had a major kind of a leap of faith where we said that if we have to make this film, we have to make it the most honest way. We will make it with a blind boy who actually cannot see and who will do this as a part of the film. Only if we can do that, only that is a vindication that such a film can be made, such a thing we can really believe and pass on as some legacy we want to pass on to humanity, I would say. So that
Great,
is where we are coming from.
great.
I just wanted to add that little bit that it's at the core. We want to challenge our belief system and say that we are really inclusive. We are really truly feeling equal with all our brothers. And I think in the film towards the end, Ali has actually, the boy Shabir has actually spoken about that.
Yes, I'll come to that also. That's a very interesting discussion you had towards
Yeah.
the end of the film. In fact, in a way, you also answered my second question, which was, why you did not want to have a very popular sport like cricket, blind cricket, or something else, instead of having boxing. You have already answered that. But why you wanted to have a protagonist called Ali? It was something to do with legendary boxer Muhammad Ali, or you had that thing in mind, or okay?
Yeah, implicitly in the okay. So here is a boy whose name is Muhammad Ali, who is a legendary boxer.
Yeah.
The boy who has junoon, the boy who has powerful punch. So everything destined for that boy, so to say, starting from the name and his abilities to be a boxer, just that he doesn't have eyesight. So we thought that's a very interesting kind of juxtaposition. And in a way, it is also our tribute to the legend, because he was the one who said, impossible is nothing. And that's the core of the film, actually. So yes, it's a film, in a way, is our tribute to the legend. Who, Muhammad Ali, he faced, his life is actually something where he faced challenges after challenges after challenges, and every time he took position. The entire society, everybody around him was against him in many occasions, but he stood to his ground. And we thought that that's a beautiful, beautiful relationship between that legend and the way we are thinking about this film. In a different
It's
manner,
very
there's a connection.
the name actually evolved very naturally. Like it came very naturally that the boy has to be Ali because as a tribute to the legend, and he's not only a boxing legend, he's a legend in
In life.
questioning the status quo, right?
Exactly.
Wherever
Exactly.
it's a
Yes.
major. He's been one of those sportsmen, I think, who stands out in
True.
not fearing anything. He went to jail for many years. He was
Oh, I
taken away.
completely agree with you.
Yeah,
I
so
completely
he
agree with
was
you on that.
ready to put his life on the out there on stake if he had to question the status quo. So that
Yes.
is our film actually. If you look at it, we are questioning that nothing is impossible. We are saying
Yeah.
we have made it. We have kind of labeled those things, and
Okay.
And we truly believe that there's a bit of Ali in all of us.
all of us.
In
Exactly.
all of us. It should get ignited, it should get the spark, and we wanted to bring that out. So
Great.
that's all.
Wonderful. But Bijoy and Kaushik, I can sense that you were very passionate about this whole idea of creating this film. But how difficult it was to find a passionate young boy to actually portray as Ali, and who is, you said, who is visually impaired. How difficult it was to finally, choose that, this guy is going to be Ali of our film.
It was tremendously difficult. I mean, there's a tremendous backstory behind our entire casting. Actually, the entire casting of the film is very eclectic. starting from Shabir Sheikh, who has played the role of Ali, to the coach Akash Awate. He's a world champion in bodybuilding. He has represented India. Is Mr. Asia Silver. Then Tejasri Bhame, who has played the role of the sister, Ruxana. She is actually national level boxing champion, a fierce boxer in the ring, but she had to play in the initial part of the film as if a girl, Chui Muisi, who doesn't know boxing. And then the boy with whom Shabir or Ali boxes at the end, he is Sahil Wagmare. He is a state level boxing champion. The father, mother, everybody. So we took a lot of time to do the casting, about 7-8 months.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, it went parallelly, but we are, as Kaushik said, that we are absolutely clear that we got to have somebody who needs to be. So this film is not about blindness. It's a film about somebody happy-go-lucky, leading a normal life, who sees in his own manner. So we didn't want the blindness to be on camera. I mean, the moment happens that the moment you say action, and the performer first mind share comes, am I appearing blind? Am I acting blind? Am I behaving blind? We didn't want that. We wanted just the performance. That's about it. So we did a lot of search, actually across the country, and then we found our Ali in Pune Blind School. So there's a blind school in Pune. We went there, we did the audition, and there's a huge hall where all the students they are assembled by the school, and there we saw one boy walking in. Absolute confidence, bindas bacha hai. And okay, so we wrote the character very clearly that what should be the kind of dimension and definition of the physical definition of the person. So broad shoulders, heighted, strong jawline, long hands. And we saw this, Ali just walked in. So it was very difficult, but it was a moment's decision that just happened.
The moment we saw him entering, we knew that this is the guy. And anyway, see, as a part of the audition, we would ask people to say dialogues. And we knew that unless he passed that test, on camera test, we'll not be able to take him. But somewhere in our heart, we knew that it was beating faster. We knew that the boy has arrived. And
So that
when
was
he came and gave his line,
unanimous decision. You both.
yeah, it is like, I think that providential serendipity, like somewhere something वो जुड़ जाता है actually, वो होता है, like when you are really wanting to do something from your passion, your heart.
Yeah.
So it was like that, a God find for us, a God sent for us, I would say.
Great. So, Kaushik, boxing in India is not a very popular sport. And when we talk about, especially,
anything other than cricket, a popular sport.
Exactly. So when we talk about, people who have some kind of disability, they generally don't have any kind of interest in, sporting activities which are physically, very exerting, like boxing or wrestling, So, casting a boy who can be a good actor, in front of the camera is one thing, but making sure that actor appears to be a boxer also is another challenge, in a film. So how did you overcome that challenge of making sure that your Ali actually comes out as a boxer in the film?
It was really a very long process. And honestly, as I think Bijoy told, we were actually, when we started this whole casting, that we'll have to cast a boy who was visually disabled, who was not able to see with his eyes. So we were at a point that we may not find this boy actually, and we will not make the film, right? We were actually in that Arya Par situation, you could say that. And even after we got him, we knew that it was this part. We knew that there's a long process to train him, because, and honestly, when we started looking up the public domain information, we spoke with boxing coaches, with technical people. We did not get much of a help, really speaking, that how we do really want to go about it. So in a way, you could say it was itself a very long and arduous journey for us, where we had to find out things, do experiments, try out things, and make it work, make our own training manual for such a person. And today we have such a manual by which such a person can be trained actually.
Wonderful.
And very honestly, somewhere we got a vindication that this is possible is is from the actual boxers. We kind of went and spoke with them and said, do you think this is possible? So we tried to make them visualize, and somewhere they said it might be possible. You can give it a try. And then we went about it. It was not at all a small task. It was an uphill task. We had to find out ways to communicate to him that you have to do this, right? You have to synchronize this. How do you respond when your opponent is, and this guy was like he was like a duck taking to water, like everything in every aspect. He's a champion. He's the true champion of this whole venture. It is not us. It is Shabir.
Yes.
He is an absolute wonder boy, and he has shown that so simply. He has shown that this is possible. He is not. It has not felt like a very difficult task for him. That was the that was the discovery for us, right?
Sure.
And it was a fruitful journey. It was.
And if I may just add a few lines to this, so we did a total about 5 months of workshop and boxing training for Shabir. So Pune Blind School is residential, so Shabir used to stay there. He was in class 10 at that point of time. So we gave him the boxing gears. So we used to have classes and training programs, and then he would practice it, and then again he will show what he has learned and so on and so forth. So that's the way we started training him in reality. And as he was getting trained, we were actually able to visualize the film before it was shot, because we ourselves were also not very sure and aware that a blind person can be trained in boxing or not. So it was our own journey and discovery, and we could see the film happening. Yes, a blind boy is able to learn boxing, and he could fight with somebody. So much so that if in the film there is a match at the end, the referee in that match is Rakesh Bhanu. He himself is a boxing referee in real life in Pune. He's a boxing coach and federation boxing referee.
Okay.
So we cast him for that role. So essentially everybody played their own characters in real life in that film. So
That's why it has come out so naturally in the film also.
That's
Because
what we
not
wanted.
acting, they were doing their, it's a regular work they do.
Yes,
Yeah.
so that's what we wanted. We didn't want people to act. It's a story from the society from around us. So we wanted
Yes.
people from around us who could just be on camera. None of the performers in this film has ever faced camera before. This is the first time ever that they faced camera.
Beautiful.
So
Beautiful.
Rakesh Bhanu, after he saw Shabir actually fighting with Sahil in that final match, after that he made a pledge. He made an announcement that I have seen a boxer in Shabir. This is the first time I've ever seen a blind person can box. So I stand completely corrected in my boxing knowledge, and he has pledged to train Shabir in boxing.
Wonderful.
Someday soon, Shabir could become India's first blind boxer.
Amazing. That's amazing.
So it's a fiction,
Yeah.
real turn into real is what I think the film is doing.
Sure. So coming to you, Bijoy and Kaushik, you both work in the corporate sector. You come from engineering background. So briefly, if you can tell us your journey, towards filmmaking and how you actually ventured into it and how it all started.
Kaushik, you go on first.
Yeah, so filmmaking came much later. Like the first thing was the love for films. I think my love for film was introduced to me by my father, who's there no more. When I was, I think, a 7-year-old boy, he took me to the neighborhood cinema hall to watch a James Bond movie, which was A-rated.
That's a very time.
And that is my journey, and my world of film started. I was living in a small town, and this was something else happening on the screen. Like that is where I connected, and that love for cinema actually continues. And then I was in the corporate world. This love for cinema really was not getting expressed in a creative way that much. And then it all started like one day in Pune, I met Bijoy, and we stay very close by, and I just met him, and I got to know that he has a passion for cinema, and that he is actually planning to take up a director training, kind of a course for working professionals in filmmaking. So, and it was like almost the last date has already gone by. And I said, yeah, but I'm also interested. Can I try this out? They were like, yeah, you can try. So that is where we actually connected as a as a immediate bonding happened, and we learned filmmaking, and then we started making films,
Great.
and it started with a
So
few
this was
shorts.
when? How many years back?
So this the filmmaking journey for us has started about what 5-6 years ago, Vijay?
2013.
2013.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm very bad with dates, by the way. So so it started. It's 7 years now, right? 7 years
Okay.
plus. So and we actually had made a short film which won a few international awards. That was a much smaller duration film, and we have been trying other ideas for feature films. But this is one of the ones which finally we could complete and everything. So there are a couple of other projects which were kind of in a pause mode or
Yeah.
not taken off yet, so to be done. So
Great.
that is where we are, right? And
Yeah.
it has been very fulfilling journey to be able to that passion for cinema we are able to express on the screen, actually contribute to this. And the other part is our beliefs coming from middle class families and simple backgrounds. We have a lot of simple value system which is not based on convenience, which is based on some core value systems, the way we want the world to be, the society to be. Somewhere
True.
we have connected that these are some of the themes we really attach with and we want to express through our stories and our cinematic history.
Wonderful. Bijoy, would you like to add something there?
Sure. So being Bengali, the film is always in the blood, actually. So since my childhood, I always wanted to be this. Whatever I have done so far, and I have been in the corporate life, international, global corporate career. I have been a CEO and leadership positions. Everything was kind of a meanwhile situation. This is what I always wanted to do, and so now I'm very happy that I'm able to do that. And intrinsically, one more thing, I think I always, throughout my career also and personally, I never like to do things which is already done. I always like to do things which is something unique. That's a internal inner drive, I would say, and therefore this is the film that we wanted to do, which happens to be the world's first boxing film in uh, which is dealing with the subject of blind boxing, and the protagonist is uh, is a blind actor. This is the first ever. Somehow we feel compelled with that idea of doing it for the first time. Not that we are saying that we are big enough to be, you know, Deek Nirdershak or anything of that sort, but we always believe that let's do something which pushes the envelope a bit, which tries to spark something, which might become a flame sometime down the line. So that has been my motto, and now I am in 2014. I retired from my full time, a very comfortable, cushy corporate, profession, and then I started doing consulting. Um, Kitchen and passion both need to work together, so I've been balancing that. But yes, film is something that I'm extremely proud of, that I am doing it. So that's that.
Great.
Hopefully
No,
we'll
it
be
was
more.
it was it was lovely connecting you, Bijoy and Kaushik, and we loved your film and our entire team in office. This is something remarkable you have done because, as you have said and as we have seen on the screen, this has not been tried anywhere earlier. My best wishes to both of you, to your film. Take this film to a larger audience at the international circuit. Let people see, what kind of transformation passion can actually bring, and nothing
Thank
is
you for saying
impossible.
this. In fact, we are so delighted that in the festival circuit, the film is getting very good response. Already it has won 7 international awards, quite a few
Amazing.
festivals where there's an official selection. And not only that, prominent media houses have started writing about the mission of the film. So Times of India has given an article, so has Indian Express, and prominent media film journalists like Shanti Swarup Tripathi, who is a Ashwamedh Award winner film journalist. He has written an article about the films and its mission,
Wonderful.
about Shabir Sheikh, and so has Praful Shah, who is an eminent journalist. So we are very happy and delighted to see that the primary goal that we had, that people around us and across the world should be aware of this message, that it is possible. Do not
Yes.
do not think that anybody is less for any reason. And people talking about it is something like your festival support, which we sincerely and seriously appreciate, and thank you for giving this film a platform so that people can see it and know about it. More than the film, know about the mission of the film, the message of the film, and also about Shabir Sheikh. We found one Shabir through our initiative, and we are absolutely sure that there are many Shabirs around the world just waiting to be discovered. So we
True. True.
can,
Yeah, and the cinema is such a beautiful medium where such a important message can be given without sounding heavy, without being preachy. So that is the beauty of the medium, right? And we have tried to make the best use of it. And thank you, Narendra, and the Golden Bee International Children's Film Festival team for giving us this beautiful platform for taking forward uh, the story that we are trying to tell. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
thank
Thank you,
you.
Bijoy. Thank you, Kaushik, for taking out time and joining us today for this brief discussion. And we absolutely loved your film, and we look forward to watch it again and screen it again for a larger audience in the coming time. Thank you so
Yeah,
much. Have a good
thank
day.
you.
Bye bye.
Sure.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you.
Thank you. God bless you.